So you've actually come across me at this hour. I thought I was about to fade into obscurity. Tonight I won't bother guessing where your left foot's resting. As usual, if you see this, drop a quick hello, or leave a comment on the right. Alright, enough rambling. Let's dive into tonight's bedtime story. Slowly approaching before us was Lena, who loves seeking fortune in the wild. At this moment, she was walking deep into the Freljord forest. It happened to be the first blizzard of the year's end, and coming from the south, Lena was utterly captivated. But as she stepped into the extreme cold, she urgently needed a proper shelter. The thick snow on the ground had already reached her ankles. As Lena ventured further, she spotted a stone cave ahead. As expected, this would be her refuge for the night. Since Lena had always loved outdoor adventures, this cave fit her interests perfectly. When she swept her torch across the cave floor, she realized it wasn't an ordinary cave. The walls inside bore signs of human excavation. On the front wall hung an old kerosene lamp, and there were even some misplaced butterfly specimens. But even though the cave showed no obvious dangers, Lena still felt a little uneasy inside. Yet thinking of the endless blizzard outside, she resolutely chose to settle in. Because the cave lacked enough oxygen to sustain long breathing, she had to place silver coins at the entrance for airflow. Once settled, she organized her heating equipment. Since Lena's backpack was fairly small, all she'd brought was a small fireplace. Luckily, the surrounding rocks could provide a certain degree of shielding. The next step was to quickly find enough fuel to make it safely through the freezing night. The forest was full of all sorts of twigs and branches. Once broken apart, they became a steady source of fuel. Lena then brought back the old kerosene lamp that had long been stored in the cave. Though time had corroded it beyond use, she fortunately carried a few candles with her. By placing them inside the lamp cover, it served as a container. As time passed, the sky gradually darkened. She lit the prepared twigs, watching the faint glow turn bright. The chill around her eased with the warmth. Then with her cup, she scooped up a spoonful of crystal clear snow. One advantage of camping in such extreme cold was the endless supply of water. She simply placed it on the fireplace to melt. After a quick filtering, she had fresh, natural drinking water. Once her body warmed up, she began her picnic for the day. Even in the midst of the stormy snow, her love for good food never faded. From the thick-cut steak she pulled out, it was clear, no matter how harsh the conditions, they couldn't stop a true foodie's heart. After finishing her meal, she turned her attention to sorting out tonight's lodging. The conditions outside were clearly unfit for staying overnight, so she had no choice but to settle in the shelter and find a place to rest. Fortunately, the inside had already been thoroughly cleared out by others, so with just a little tidying up, she could stay there for now. From her past experiences of seeking fortune outdoors, even when faced with run-down shabby houses, her mindset had always remained calm. But in this bunker, she couldn't help but show a look of strong distaste. Once everything was in order, she lay down early to rest. So you've actually come across me at this hour. I thought I was about to fade into obscurity again. Tonight, I won't bother guessing where your left foot's resting. As always, if you see this, give me a shout. Or drop a few words in the comments on the right. Alright, enough small talk. Let's get straight into tonight's bedtime story. Approaching before us is Mina, a girl from Korea, who loves chasing snow for camping. Right now, she's walking deep into the snowy mountains. It happened to be the first heavy snowfall of the year's end, and Mina, who insists she won't camp without snow, was thrilled. But this trip was more of a sudden whim, without strong arms to help. The tent felt like it weighed 1,000 kilos. Still, she knew the order of assembly by heart, and soon had the tent securely set up. As night quietly descended, the temperature dropped sharply atop the snowy peak. She needed to prepare her heating measures in advance. First, she set up a 2-meter-long inflatable bed. From the look on her face, her pride was easy to see. Then she neatly arranged all her tools. Camping styles in Japan and Korea couldn't be more different. Korean campers often turn their small space into a one-bed flat, while Japanese campers focus on minimalism, satisfying only the basic needs. Perhaps this is the difference in how the two cultures view camping. Soon Mina had set up her fireplace. Because of the heavy snow falling outside, the tent roof still carried traces of melted water. So before settling in, she had to clean it up. Then it was finally time for today's picnic. To celebrate her first camping success, she brought along what's jokingly called a man's petrol station and a woman's beauty salon. A whole box full of oysters, such high-end ingredients, only need the simplest cooking. Just add clean water to the pot, place the oysters inside, and steam them over the fireplace. Of course, one dish alone couldn't satisfy her taste buds, so she cooked up some Odin to pass the time. Anyone who often skips meals knows that in the face of high-end ingredients, you'll always crave a hot drink. So Mina brought along a box of wheat juice, even pouring out a whole pot of it. Then using the fireplace, she heated it up. In a freezing place like this, a steaming hot drink with your meal is the greatest respect you can give to the food. After she devoured the rest of her food like a hungry wolf, the heavy snowfall outside had already stopped. Taking the chance, Mina went out to clear the snow off her tent and greeted her viewers watching from the screen. Then she returned inside, enjoying the rare moment of comfort. Since she was in such a remote location, she decided to just spend the night in the tent. As the next morning arrived, the air was filled with a sharp chill. An icy frost covered the surface of the tent. Waking up early, Mina prepared to make breakfast. Maybe she'd had too much wheat juice last night, so she simply made a few small steamed buns. So you've actually come across me at this hour. I thought I was about to fade away again. Tonight, I won't bother guessing where your left foot's resting. Word is, the comment bot's just got another 10th century update. Now you just hold down swipe to the emoji, and you can send it straight away. So I'll just guess, are there bots in my comments? Alright, enough chit-chat. Let's jump into tonight's bedtime story. Before us once again is our familiar old friend, Nana, a camper from Korea. This time to put a perfect full stop. On the end of the year, she's come to the forests of Freljord to carry out her long-planned camping trip. Thanks to this pitch-black spot she found, she cleared out the snow around with precision and mapped out her own little one-bedroom space. Ever since, the first time she used a round tent earlier in the season, Nana has been hooked and can't let it go. Since then, she's taken one along every trip. Maybe it's because a round tent offers a much broader view, making it convenient, both to set up and to pack away. Before long, she'd already got it standing firm. Compared to traditional square tents, the round design's interior space truly feels like a flat of its own. To enjoy camping to the fullest, Nana replaced all the windows with clear plastic sheets. The 3 central windows were like floor-to-ceiling glass. For a detail-loving girl like Nana, the size of the space didn't matter. Even the tiniest sparrow-sized furniture had to look plentiful and refined. Her motto has always been, you might not use it, but you can't go without it. As Nana kept arranging her things, it almost felt like she was moving her whole home outdoors. After a good while of busy work, she finally had it all sorted. Nana then sat to the side previewing TV programs, even switching it to a video of a fireplace burning. A bit of self-deception, like fooling herself with comfort. After soaking in that cozy illusion, she began preparing today's lunch, sticking to her quirky motto of eat well in the morning, eat well at noon, eat well at night. She made sure that before evening her taste buds would be fully satisfied. That made her lunch choice all the more important. The whole process for Nana was like conducting some kind of energy experiment. She tossed all sorts of spices into the pot first, then dumped in skewers of every shape and size. Once the broth had soaked into each skewer, Nana pulled out a bottle of wheat juice to kick off her picnic life. The sky had been clear at first, but as Nana went about her day, night slowly fell. Winter days are always short and fleeting. With not many outdoor activities available after eating, she could only choose some simple ways to pass the time. Luckily today she had brought a TV. An hour-long video was just enough to get through this quiet night. Before she knew it, the night had deepened. Bored Nana decided to make some dinner. But since she'd had such a full lunch, she wasn't feeling hungry yet. So she decided to make a pizza as a late-night snack. With all her well-prepared tools, whatever food she fancied was easy to whip up. She only had to wait a moment before it was ready. Though it looked a bit too simple on the surface, Nana's satisfied expression made it clear. It tasted pretty good. After wolfing it down, she got ready to lie down early and rest to welcome the arrival of a new day.